Hey guys, how's it going? It's been quite a while since I made my video. When I started this journey, it's been just a little over 2 months now, and doing really good. Like I started this video, I started at 292 pounds on when I started keto and intermittent fasting, and I am at 252 pounds, so 40 pounds lost in just a little bit over 2 months. It's been definitely crazy. I drive a truck over the road, as I've said before, and I usually only come home about once every 2 to 3 weeks. And family and friends that have seen me, they're all like, they say that I've lost 2 of me, but I haven't. I know a lot of it was water weight at first, and now it's slowed down to about 2 pounds a week on average is what I'm losing. But you can definitely tell on my face, my neck, all the fat and stuff is pretty much gone. Still losing weight everywhere. My arms are not getting smaller. They're still at I think I lost an inch in my arms, but they're definitely toner. I don't do any crazy workouts. I do weight resistance training with a 10-pound jug of oil. I walk. I started doing this past week. I started challenge myself to get up every morning and try to do 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups every day, which has definitely helped. I think I feel it in my arms and my stomach a lot more. Been changing to intermittent fasting, doing that a little bit differently for about the past 2 weeks. Instead of doing a 6 to 8 hour intermittent fast, I've been doing a 24-hour intermittent fast where I only eat once a day, and I limit myself to one snack, usually about an hour to 30 minutes before or after I eat. And I think that's made a huge difference. I feel really good mentally, physically. My clothes are like so, loose on me, falling off. Feels really good. And I'm gonna keep doing this, and probably for the rest of my life. I might, once I get down to my goal weight of 200 pounds, because I am a pretty big guy. I always have been. Even when I was in high school, I averaged around 170, 180, somewhere around there. In the military, I was very physically fit. I would get up and run sometimes, even on the ship. I was in the Navy. I would run around the deck of the ship for literally for an hour. So anywhere from 5 to 10 miles every day, plus do weightlifting and stuff. And I averaged right around 180 to 200 pounds when I was in the Navy, and I was pretty lean and pretty cut. So at 47 years old, if I could get back down to 180 to 200, I'll be extremely happy. Tested my blood sugar again. It's way low. It was averaging 130, 136 before, which isn't extremely high, but it is in the pre-diabetic state. And it's been pretty low. It's down in the 70 to 80 range, which is pretty good. A little low probably, but I don't feel dizzy or feel lack of energy or anything like that. It's totally opposite. I have tons of energy. I go to the truck stops now, and instead of you know, just going into the truck stop right here, sometimes I might walk a mile down the road to go get something to eat and walk back, you know, and I feel good. I'm not tired. Mentally, physically, driving especially, huge difference. I mean, before, when I was driving, you know, after about 4 hours, my back would start hurting. I felt uncomfortable in the seat. Now I feel kind of skinny in the seat. It's kind of weird. I have to slide my seat up, and my back doesn't hurt. I'm comfortable. My you know, days are so much easier. My life is so much easier. Being able to play with my daughter outside and do stuff, you know, put her swing set together and do it all in one day and not feel exhausted. And I mean, just so many benefits from doing this diet and way of life. And there's some people out there who think that it's, you know, not possible, or you're lying or whatever. And that's one of the reasons why I started these video journals, is so that I can have, you know, something there when I put this video up. You know, I can't fast forward in the future and, you know, put the video up. So when I started this until this point, you can see an actual time lapse. And I might only do a video once a month now. I said I was going to do it once a week, but I really don't see the point in that. I'm only losing about 2 pounds a week now, and it's probably going to take me, you know, a pretty good while, probably at least another six months to get down to my goal weight. But, you know, in between, I will put videos up. I'll put some pictures of my body, my face, my weight, pictures of the scale, as I've been doing before. And that way, maybe it'll give a little bit of inspiration to other people out there who want to do this, and don't listen to the naysayers, you know. Another thing on this diet, I see so many people, they focus on the keto medical diet, which was made for children with epilepsy and Alzheimer's patients and mental illness and stuff like that. And they made that diet for those people with 80% fat, because they were losing weight and they didn't need to lose weight. Some of these, you know, they're children, and at that point of development, you know, they don't need to be losing weight, more than likely. They prescribed that much fat because they needed them to, you know, keep the weight that they have, keep their lean body muscle, and not, you know, get too skinny. And with people that are overweight, the whole reason, one of the reasons behind this diet, is you're switching over from your body using glycogen to eating the fat on your body, using your own fat. And people like me that are extremely obese, I started, you know, intermittent fasting at 315 pounds. That's huge. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of calories for my body to live off of without eating that much fat. Yeah, I probably eat about, you know, I don't watch my macros. I watch my carbs. I try to limit how many carbs I eat, and I also go off of a glycemic load index, which isn't the same as a glycemic index, which is actually kind of crazy, because a glycemic index is based on 50 carbs worth of that food. So for instance, even though the glycemic index of two foods might be the same, for instance, to get the same glycemic value, you would have to eat like 2 cups of blueberries or 6.5 cups of carrots. I mean, the amount of food that's different in that is just insane. No one's gonna sit down and eat 6.5 cups of carrots. So stuff like carrots and chickpeas and butter beans and other low glycemic foods, spinach and asparagus and broccoli and all that stuff. You can eat those foods. You need to eat those foods. They help your liver. There's so many macronutrients in them that help your body in other ways. And you don't need to eat 80% fat. You don't need to sit there, and even though your body already is telling you, hey, I'm full, I'm not hungry, you don't need to force feed yourself 4 avocados or add half a cup of butter, or force feed yourself a 22-ounce steak, or whatever you're doing to try to get that amount of fat in. You don't need to do that. Eat until you're full. Eat healthy foods. Your body will tell you. Trying to calculate macros for each individual person is ridiculous. Everyone's different. Everyone has different hormones. Everyone has a different metabolic system. Everyone is different. Not everyone has a fatty liver. Not everyone has insulin resistance. Not everyone is 200 freaking pounds overweight. You're all not going to lose weight the same. You're all not going to be able to eat the same amount of foods. So being able to calculate all that stuff it's insane. It's virtually impossible. I mean, the best thing I can tell you is to experiment. Learn what your body likes. Learn what you need. Eat until you are full, until you're satiated. The fat is there to make you feel satiated. That's it. Try to keep your carbs low. I would say between 20 and 40 grams. And if that 20 to 40 grams is spinach and asparagus and carrots and cabbage and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter, because those carbs create such a low spike in your insulin that it doesn't even matter. You could probably eat 80 to 100 grams of carbs, which would be you would be literally stuffing yourself beyond the point to where you feel full with that many low glycemic carbs, like low glycemic load carbs, that it would be ridiculous. You would just be pushing yourself. And you don't need to do that. I think too many people focus on that and make this diet way harder than it needs to be. Eat the foods that you need to eat until you're full, and that's it. And if you do intermittent fasting, the hunger, the cravings, all that stuff, it goes away. It goes away. You won't feel it. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is freaking hard when you first start doing it, but after a week or two, you don't feel it. I mean, the only time I have cravings, at least, is mentally. If I see something, or I'm sitting there watching too many videos on YouTube about making all these different keto fat bombs, keto, desserts and all that stuff, and I'll be like, mentally, yeah, but physically, I'm not hungry. I don't need it. My body doesn't need it. I mean, it's just the way it is. If you eat until you're full and your body your body and your brain are communicating, and your body says you're full, that's all that matters. And then after that, you're living off of your body's own fat. You don't need to have